Yo, sorry to be a little late. I wanted to show you guys something, and I was looking for it because I had bookmarked it, but I cannot find it now. So I guess I misbookmarked it. Okay, so Catherine, you were not here last weekend or last Sunday. I can't remember.
I wasn't here last Sunday, but I watched the class on the video.
Oh, okay, good. Let's do a couple of the first sections then, and then we're going to go over that move again because that move is a very complicated move. There's a lot of um, different parts to it. It's actually several moves mixed together. You know, unlike a lot of the moves in Tai Chi. Right? That's just one thing basically, but this one's actually three things in a row. So let's spend some time on it. All right, let's do the first section of the form. Okay, Susan.
Catherine?
Oh, God, did I say Susan? Sorry, guys. I was I was thinking of another student
Susan.
who sent us a beautiful piece of artwork, and I was just flabbergasted. Um, I'm gonna show it to you guys, but I'm incorporating it in the website, and I'm not quite done with that. So when it's done, I'll show you. I think it's really quite amazing. Yes, Catherine. The other Susan, whose name is Catherine. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I start calling everybody Susan, you'll know what it's about. Say something so the camera goes on you. Catherine, say something.
Hello. Hi. Can you hear?
Right, and Ran is busy with, I'm sure, busy with Millie, so we're going to skip that. All right. Okay, let's take a look at this move. It's called Dan Bien. All right. Dan means a single thing, and bien means a whip. So it means single whip. And what it's referring to is the last bit of movement in the form, this. That's the single whip, right? But obviously there's a whole lot of stuff before that. You could divide this up into three pieces. The first part of it looks like this. The second part looks like this. The third part of it looks like this. Right? And the fourth part of it looks like this. So I said 3 pieces, but it should be 4 pieces. Now, that doesn't mean there's only 4 yin and yang cycles in there, but there are sort of 4 chapters in the book, you might say. So let's take them piece by piece, and I'll tell you the secret of each piece. The secret, let me get a piece of tape here. Hold on. I need my scissors, which are missing. And I really ought to have some dime on here too. All right, the first part of this is really all about the waist. It's all about the daimai. So watch. Just watch this. Right? Back and forth and back and forth. All your weight is on the right foot. Right? The left foot is just pivoting on the ball of the foot. Right? So I'm not on my toes. I'm on the ball of my foot and I'm just pivoting back and forth. Left, right, left, right, left, right, and even more right to go down into the next move. Clear?
No.
All right. That's what you should feel. Catherine, did you have a question on it?
Yeah. Can you do it again with right, left? Because I was wrong at the end. I don't know why.
Sure. I'll do it facing the camera and then facing away from the camera. Okay.
Thanks.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, and then you turn even more right to get into the next move. You good? Okay. Let me do it one with my back to the camera. Left, right, left, right, left, right, and then even more to the right. Okay, clear? So when you do that part of the move, that's really what you should be thinking about as you're practicing, not so much the hands. I mean, obviously the hands are important, but the power in this move is from doing this. All right? Could do it on the other side. Then we'd have the left hand. Kevin, I can't remember, are you left-handed? So I'm sure I told you the story. Someone who was left-handed in the class asked Master Zhang once, when are we going to do the left-handed version of this form? Because all the forms are right-handed versions. And he said, I'll teach you the right-handed version, and then you go home and you work out the left-handed version, all right? It's just a mirror image of that. Shouldn't be any problem. All right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right? So it's all about the movement of the daimai, moving the waist. And I should say too, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Remember that your daimai is an energy channel. It's not your hips. So it's related to your hips, but it's not the same thing, right? And your waist and your hips are not the same thing. They are for most people because they're locked together, but in fact, they can turn independently. And then on top of that, you have your energy waist, which is really free to rotate. So just remember that when you make a move like this, where's your chi? When you get done with this, where should your chi be? And how does it get there? Where does your chi go? Where does it end up? Yeah. So a little on here, but I'm talking about this part of the body. All right? Remember, I said turn left. All right? So that ought to give you a clue. It's moving here. Where does it stop? Where does it go? Where does it find its root?
Here.
Always here, but what I mean is it's going to go all the way around your body, all the way around to here. That leg that's carrying the weight. You can feel it. It's going around, all the way back to here. Right? What good does it for it to be rooted in this leg? This leg's up in the air. Can you feel that? Yes? Kevin, does that make sense?
Yeah, it's hard for me to feel it though, It sort of stops. 'Cause that's my dead spot to be.
Just use your imagination to bring it around. And when you feel it as kind of a weight. I mean, if you're standing like this, you're going to feel the weight here, right? And especially because you're using the muscles in the back, right? You're using the muscles in the back to hold you up, not so much your abdomen, but your back muscles. That's what I mean by it going all the way around to those back muscles there that connect the leg to the torso. Just feel that, and you'll be fine. Don't even worry about the transition across the dead zone. Just you feel it so far here, then it hits the dead zone, then it's hopefully gonna show up over here. Well, just pay attention to that. And maybe what it'll do over time is soften that dead zone up so it won't be quite such a dead zone. Okay, Catherine, does this make sense?
It makes sense. And when I see you doing it, I'll see it. But feeling it in my own body, that's another
That's
matter.
another thing. Just keep practicing. It will come. You will feel it. Okay, guys, now Rand's back, so we can't talk anymore about that big secret that we just revealed. I'm sorry, Rand. It's just
Wait, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win on Tuesday?
Harris is gonna win. Harris. No, we can't talk about that stuff. All right. I still I can't say it. I still think Harris is gonna win. Okay. Rand, what we were talking about is when you do the first part of this move, all right? It looks like this. Okay, when you begin that move, all right, what happens with your chi? I've got my Danchen button on and the Daimai belt here, right? The whole first part of this move is about the waist, the waist, the waist, the waist. It turns left, it turns right, right? So watch. Left, right, left, right, left, right, and then even more right to go down into the next move. So what I was asking them, just as you were coming in, is the very first part here. What happens with your chi? Because when you're sunk like this, where's your chi? Well, it's right here. Right? There it is, right there. Now it's going to move. The question is, where does it end up? And the answer is, it goes all the way around your back to the muscles above your right leg. All right? Why the muscles above your right leg? Because that's the leg that's carrying all the weight. Think about this. Now, I'm spending a little time with this because we can't do this for every part of every move, but the same principles apply. So if you can grab the principle, you can work this out yourself. Watch. All right? You're going to slap this guy upside the head. Boom. All right? Where does the energy come from? Kevin, where does the energy come from?
Well, I always forget my feet. I'm up, about trying to figure out how to get it out to the.
Watch. Watch. You could do this, you are doing this on one foot, which means the energy needs to come from that foot. That's why you bring it around to your hip so that it can come up your body and out your hand. Clear? Now, we don't lift the leg in practice. Watch. Did you see that pop? That means there has to be a connection there. That's why you bring all the chi around into this area here, your back, boom, and then you snap it. It's exactly the same as doing that. If you were a policeman with a truncheon, if you had to pop somebody, I can think of many people who could use a good pop. All right. There's two ways you could do it: the wrong way and the right way. The wrong way is to use your shoulder. That's what 99% of people in the world would do. The problem is you're going to end up shocking your shoulder. And the shoulder is not a strong joint. You can hurt your shoulder very easily. Also, it's weak. Try it. Put your hand up here. Pretend you've got a truncheon and just hit it from your shoulder. Now, it isn't going to feel good, but it's not that powerful. But if you can engage your whole body, that's 10 times stronger. How do you engage your whole body? Your mind to your dantian, to your foot, back up to your mingmen, and then out to your arm. The chi path is always the same. Now, that should tell you something. Every move in every yin and yang cycle, you're going to wind up and then you're going to hit. When you wind up, you're always going to wind up into the ground and then bounce off the ground. And you're going to wind up into the ground and then unwind. And what you're doing is taking advantage of the ground reaction force. That's not Tai Chi, that's just physics. All right? When you go down, there's almost like a trampoline effect, even from cement. And you go down and then you catch it, coming back up. To catch it, you have to be aware of it. To catch it, you have to time it perfectly, which means you have to perceive it. Watch, I'm just going to go down and bounce. I'm not going to catch it. It's just a natural bounce, right? Now, if I'm aware of that bounce, I can take advantage of it, right? It's like catching a ball really smoothly. And every yin and yang cycle does the same thing. Down to the ground, catch it back up. 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 Clear? Kevin.
You told me the other day to look up ground reaction force, and it says when you're running, that when you're standing it's 1-to-1, but when you're running it increases at 2 to 3 times your energy coming back, and then when you are jumping or something, it's like 5 to 10 times as much energy coming back up.
Exactly.
It's very strange to think about it that way, but
I know it's completely counterintuitive, but it's real. I mean, what you were looking at was just about the physics of it, right? Wasn't like anything about Tai Chi or anything. It's just physics. So somewhere between 3 and 4 and 10 times the energy comes from using the ground, which is why the name of our school is Luminous Ground. Luminous, that is, it's intelligent, it's conscious, all right? Meaning you need to become conscious of the ground. All right? Into the ground. Bounce back up. 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 Boom. Go all the way through the form that way. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Malcolm, I have a
Catherine, good.
question about this.
Yes. Right.
So we're working with our feet into the ground, and we're also working with the danshan. But like, how do I think about the connection between them? I mean, we've talked about this, but I mean, still.
Um, words are not adequate to explain the connection. Nevertheless, I will give you some words. One way to think about this is that the Dantian is a link in the chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? It's a link in the chain. Another way to think about it is to understand that the mind and the Dantian are the same thing. And the bottom of the foot and the Dantian are the same thing. And the tips of the fingers and the Dantian are the same thing. That's a much higher level way of thinking about it, right? It's all one. You don't need to go all the way down. You can move your energy. Catherine, it's just like the directions. It's just like the directions in Alexander technique. Physically, you may not move. Someone may not see you moving, but you cause a flow of energy in the body by being conscious of it and directing it. And then you practice. That's what the forms are for. The forms are not an end in themselves. They are a way to practice something. And what you're practicing is the movement of chi inside your body, the movement of energy inside your body. So I don't have to go like this. Now, it's really good for you to do that. It's good for all the parts of the body. The reason people do, that 99% of people do Tai Chi, is just for their health. And this is excellent for your health because it opens the body up. It's like going like this. It's like a deep breathing exercise. It really exercises, it opens the body and moves the chi through it. But as far as functionality goes, you don't have to do that for it to function well. You can just be standing there, right? And you can do it. Watch. Once you've learned how to really do this, you can do it without moving your body that much. Kevin, does this make sense?
Yeah, it's. I was thinking about this earlier when you were talking. Is that your circle? Again, words fail me, but your circles get smaller the better you get.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The circles. The way Master Feng explained this once, what the sequencing is for Hunyan Tai Chi, and I think this is true for all forms of Tai Chi, that when you start Tai Chi, you start practicing, your circles are really, really not very good. Your circles are not that good. But as you practice, you know, they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until they fill your whole body. And then another process starts where the circles get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until they're no bigger than a single grain of rice. That's called the single crystal of Hunyan Qi. Of your, in this case, you could interpret Hunyan as original or primordial. This is your primordial Qi. It's not about big physical movements. It's almost no physical movements. But you can't get there without walking all the steps to get there. So you start with big movements, huh? And as you do this, can't you feel all your joints opening? Right? Oh, open up all those joints. Open. It's not like that. It's just open those joints. including here in your legs, right? And then, right, close them, and then open them, and then close them, right? It's just like deep breathing, open and close, open and close. And that develops, you know, I don't know that I've ever even mentioned this in the classes. What you're developing is called gong, G-O-N-G, gong. Catherine, what's the English translation of gong? I don't know the French translation. The English translation of gong is your stuff. Your stuff. Right? There's a phrase in English, the right stuff. Right? You can't put it into words. It's your stuff. It's your stuff. Capiche? Kevin.
So you guys, at least for me, if you play around with this, you can feel the joints, your vertebrae and everything go like this and come back and go like this and come back. It's a very strange feeling, and you don't have to hyperextend to do it. And that feel, I know that's part of this. I'm not sure where it's going to go after I start to feel it, but
yeah, no, Kevin, it's absolutely part of it. That's exactly what this is, right? It's like, you know, oh, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, open and close and open, and you're just constantly opening and closing the joints. That's where a lot of the health benefits of this comes from. But in fact, you do need to, if you're just working on this for martial ability, that's a big part of it, is the opening and closing of the joints. And how can I say? You know, if you pay attention, you don't have to stretch your arm. That's actually not a form of opening your joints. That's actually a form of closing them again through tension. Instead, just be comfortable, and you can feel the joints open. Okay, that's a lot to get out of 2 seconds out of a move. Right? This probably is 1/10 of 1% of the form. And yet hidden within that 1% are basic principles that you can carry out through every single move. Right? Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. So going on to this next little part here, there is a kind of unspoken assumption on almost every human being's part that the functional part of a move needs to be the yang part. But that's not always true in Tai Chi. So watch this. You know, that's yin. That's yang, but this is yin. The lock is yin. Probably shouldn't get into this. When Kevin comes up, he and I will work on this move, and we'll record it and play it sometime, so you can see what it is. It's a very powerful move. It's almost impossible to do that part of the move without understanding the push hands part of it. Huh? What's this hand doing? I'll demonstrate this when I have Kevin. So Kevin's got my hand, and he's trying to twist it like this so that he can twist me up. So I don't let him twist my body. I let him twist my arm. Watch. This should remind you of a silk reeling move. All right. Now, he's still got hold of my hand. I can grab his hand and continue the cycle. He will either have to flip on his back or his arm will be broken. And then this is another version, another application where you rest your arm on his arm and then shift your weight backward. This is a really fun move to do because it's all about leverage. And you will, if we ever get a chance to have a retreat where you can all come, you can have a lot of fun breaking each other's arms. All right, any questions? Okay, so we got 2 seconds of the form done today. That's really good. Every week we'll do 2 seconds. All right, we'll continue with this tomorrow, guys. Have yourselves a great day. Ciao.